Hey guys, welcome to The Sports Entertainer. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss out on any of our videos. Our first wrestling news story of the day is huge news on Cody Rhodes vs Brock Lesnar 3. Now, as most of you are likely aware, rumors have been going around ever since Night of Champions 2023 that there will be a third match or trilogy between Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes, and it definitely makes sense seeing as though Cody Rhodes won their first meeting at Backlash earlier this year, and then Brock Lesnar would even the score against Cody Rhodes with a win at Night of Champions, even though in all honesty that was not a very clean win for the Beast Incarnate, seeing as though Cody was far from being 100% going into that match with literally a broken arm, which is absolutely insane. And Cody took Brock Lesnar to the brink of defeat at Night of Champions, so as a result a lot of wrestling fans want WWE to book a third match between Lesnar and Rhodes, and thankfully we've got some great news on that, and clearly the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes will be getting a chance at redemption against Lesnar. One of our sources, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, has reported that Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar will be facing off against each other for the third time at WWE SummerSlam 2023 this August, with this being Dave's exact comment on the matter, quote, "Brock Lesnar Cody Rhodes 3 is SummerSlam Ford Field match number 3. Now, as most of you are likely aware, Cody Rhodes is currently expected to be a part of Money in the Bank this year, and considering WWE seemingly plan a third encounter between Lesnar and Rhodes, it would not be surprising in the least bit if Brock Lesnar interferes at Money in the Bank and costs Cody the briefcase, thus adding even more fuel to their feud heading into SummerSlam. And like we have mentioned before, LA Knight is currently one of the favorites behind the scenes to win Money in the Bank this year. Missing WWE star shares major health update. Now, as most of you are likely aware, former NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa has not been in a WWE ring since last September, with Tommaso undergoing hip surgery during his time away from WWE, but clearly Ciampa is preparing for his big comeback, and he shared an incredible health update on social media the other day, which definitely got fans excited to see Tommaso Ciampa back in a WWE ring. Here's what Tommaso said in his Instagram post, which showed off his new amazing physique. He definitely looks tremendous, quote, "Little post-workout check-in. This is the heaviest I've been in 10 years, but much leaner than I was back then. I just completed my third mesocycle using the RP Hypertrophy app. Stronger and bigger than ever before, plus well-fed and incredible recovery, dialed in." By all means, wrestling fans expressed their excitement seeing Tommaso Ciampa in such great shape ahead of his impending WWE return, and many feel he will make a big mark on the main roster when he does eventually come back in the near future. With Triple H firmly in charge of WWE's creative, hopefully he'll have some big things planned for Tommaso when he does return, and it is pretty likely that Tommaso will be reuniting with Johnny Gargano when he does return on Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns is a huge draw for WWE confirmed. There was some major news revealed yesterday regarding the ratings and viewership that WWE drew for Friday Night SmackDown this past week on June 2nd, and they were some pretty great numbers, with SmackDown averaging 2.46 million viewers, which was about up 400,000 viewers from the previous week's edition of the Blue Brand. Now, SmackDown last week featured the fallout of Night of Champions 2023, and while that in of itself likely would have boosted the viewership a little bit, the main part of SmackDown was celebrating the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns' 1,000-day reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, with Roman Reigns appearing on the show in a big way with the rest of the bloodline, and the high ratings for SmackDown basically confirms that Roman is a massive draw for WWE. These were the highest numbers for SmackDown since the August 19th, 2022 episode of the show, which is quite impressive. Some fans may be getting tired of Roman Reigns' seemingly never-ending title run, but it's hard to blame WWE for keeping up with this storyline, seeing as though Reigns clearly draws big ratings for the company. There's no doubt that Roman's the top draw in WWE right now, probably ahead of the likes of Brock Lesnar at this point. Now, of course, the rumors prior to the show about Triple H and WWE possibly unveiling a new Undisputed Championship belt for Roman Reigns likely added to the appeal of SmackDown as well, which helped increase viewership. But by all means, SmackDown on June 2nd was marketed completely as a show celebrating Roman Reigns' historic title run, so that is likely the biggest reason for the jump in viewership. It was reported by one of our sources, Fightful Select, that WWE executives were very happy about SmackDown's viewership this past week, and the high ratings for SmackDown probably confirmed it to them that they've made the right call continuing the dominant title run of Roman Reigns. Jon Moxley plans to return, but where? Now before we even get into this one, unfortunately for the fans who want to see Dean Ambrose or Jon Moxley return to WWE, that likely won't be happening anytime soon, and the company that Jon Moxley plans to return to in the future is New Japan Pro Wrestling, which, as most of you are likely aware, was the promotion that Jon Moxley wrestled for yesterday at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion pay-per-view event, which saw Moxley lose his 6-man tag team match alongside the likes of former WWE star Cesaro or Claudio Castagnoli. Now clearly Jon Moxley has plans to return to New Japan Pro Wrestling in the future, because following yesterday's event, Moxley said this in the post-pay-per-view media scrum, quote, "A couple kids, a couple trips to rehab later, here we are. Every single time I come back to Japan, I will give you the absolute best, just like Claudio will, just like Shooter will. I'm so glad to be back in Japan. This is a place where fighting spirit is revered. This is a place where fighting spirit pays off in the ring, in that magical moment where blood and sweat and will and guts and all that mixes into one. It is the greatest thing in the world. I love it. Definitely, yeah, we'll wrestle again, I got plans. I have a resident card now. I know Okada has been messing with the visa thing and trying to get her stuff stepped up, but I got the card now, I'll come back whenever I want. Thank you, Japan." With that said, while Jon Moxley plans to return to New Japan Pro Wrestling in the future, for the fans who do want to see him back in WWE, you can truly never say never. And while many have said that Moxley's banned from returning to WWE, that's unlikely true, as Vince has brought back many supposedly banned wrestlers in the past, with Cody Rhodes being one of the most recent examples. CM Punk's effect on AEW Collision ticket sales. After months of speculation regarding CM Punk's status in All Elite Wrestling, it was revealed on the May 31st episode of Dynamite by none other than the AEW president Tony Khan that CM Punk will be returning to the company on the June 17th AEW Collision show, which is set to go down in Punk's hometown of Chicago. Now we have some pretty interesting news on CM Punk's effect on the ticket sales for AEW Collision on June 17th, because since Tony Khan's announcement of Punk being included on the show, 994 more tickets have been sold for the event, bringing the total tickets sold to 8,000, and there are apparently over 2,000 tickets still available for AEW Collision. While some fans may look at those numbers and jump to the conclusion that CM Punk is not a draw in wrestling anymore, it should be noted that even before the announcement of CM Punk being at AEW Collision, it was widely speculated that the Cult of Personality was going to be at the show in Chicago regardless. So the idea of Punk being at the show was a possible factor for the tickets being sold before the announcement. Regardless, not the greatest look for CM Punk, and do you guys feel like CM Punk is losing his drawing ability in AEW?